Welcome back to Different Walk Series Talks. This is a podcast featuring honest conversations from women in different stages of life and different backgrounds. You're back here with myself, Jessica, Autumn, Farah, and Keisha. Uh, Today we'll be talking about should we embrace aging gracefully or should we fight the tide? We'll be talking about the realities of aging and beauty standards facing 40, 50, beyond that age. And is it healing or hustling? The business of self care. Are we addicted to fixing ourselves? We'll also be talking about the double standards that sometimes exist for men and women. And if we do, why do we do that? So, does anybody want to start?
Yeah, I'll start since it was my topic suggestion. I will say that when I was younger, like when I was like a kid before I was really an adult, whatever, I always thought I was going to embrace aging gracefully. I always was like, oh, I can't wait to have like salt and pepper hair or even like that streak of gray in the front, like I always wanted that, right? I was like, if it could just come in that one little spot, that'd be so cool. Now I get like 3 gray hairs and I immediately yank them out. I thought it was gonna be cute when I was young. Now that I'm doing it, I don't feel like it's so cute anymore.
That's kind of funny because I actually love my grays. I have a plethora of them, but they just don't join each
Okay.
other, so you can't tell. But I really love them. Sometimes I'll pull them to the front and try and make them stay in one spot. It never really
So
works
you're
out.
emphasizing then.
I'm trying to, but they hide all in
Okay.
this bush, so they don't really stand out. They stand out more on my chin than they do on my head.
Girl, tell me about it.
I don't have that many grays yet, but, like, when I do have them, it's just, like, one by itself and it stands out. Like, I have one somewhere here, and it is, like, if I put my hair up, it's sitting, like, right on top of my hair. So,
Of
like,
course.
it's like it wants to be seen, and I don't mind. I do feel like 40 years is nothing to sneeze at. I've been blessed this long. Imma keep on being blessed, and I'm good with that, so it's
Amen.
like
Ooh, I
yeah.
have one, just one white eyelash.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the top.
It
And
is
it's
so
so pretty. I
interesting.
wish I wish
Yay.
other ones would join in it. Every time I look at it, I'm like, "Where's the rest of you guys?" It's so pretty.
Yeah,
So
I think it's so
Farrah
cool.
So Farrah and Jessica are like, yes, fully embrace it. Just dive right in. It's a blessing. Where do you stand on them?
Um, I didn't start getting gray hair as much until last year,
Mm.
and, because of stress. Gray hair comes hereditary. I did not know that. I remember when I was, younger, I was in my teenage years, I had a friend of mine that I used to work with, and me and her was, like, pretty much the same age, but her hair was gray. Grandma gray. But I was like, why you got gray hair like that? I mean, like salt and pepper, gray hair. Like, why you got? She's like, hereditary. So I
Yeah,
didn't know that. And that was beautiful on her and different. So I guess we get gray hair based on stress, hereditary, or it's nature saying, hey, you are growing into a phase of distinction, if you will. I like it. Um, 'Cause you can't stay young forever,
true.
and you're as young as you feel. So I'm not gonna let a few gray hairs make me go into panic mode. "Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm losing my
Okay.
youth. Oh my god." You
Okay,
know?
so it's just me then. So it's just me. Okay, cool. Got it. We can just
Do
Well,
you
wrap
there
up this
was one
so,
episode. It's
thing.
Autumn,
fine.
do you color your grays?
So I've always wanted to have like color in my hair. And until I did sister locks, I didn't feel like safe enough to do so. Because anytime I would color it, girl, my hair would leave my head. Like it just break off. So finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my locks. I'm gonna do it. And so now my gray does get colored, but that's because I'm already coloring it. I want it to be this brownish reddish situation. But honestly, if I wasn't doing the brown red thing, I probably would color it. I wish I could be cool with my grays, but we're in a constant battle. I'm like, y'all got to get out of here, or at least go to the back of my head. 'Cause the back of my head is none of my business. I don't know what's happening back there. But, you know, who's up here? Can y'all please cooperate? And they're just not. They're just not. They just love being in my face. And at one point, I actually started like naming them. Like I'd be like, okay, this one's from my job. Okay, this one's from my husband, who I love so much. And then this one, this one's that one child. They know who
Mm.
they are. But now it's too many to name. So I'm just like, oh, okay, I guess it's just life.
There was one thing I used to be worried about as we got older. I was nervous about saggy breasts because, people always talk about saggy breasts this, saggy breasts that. Oh, you don't want your breasts to be hitting the floor or touching your knees and all that kind of stuff. And especially after I had a baby, because they got really ridiculously huge, especially for my little size. So I thought after I stopped breastfeeding, I thought they would go right back in, which they didn't. But they did get smaller, and all that extra skin made me really nervous. And I found an exercise. There's actually an exercise that you could do, and it puts them right back in place. They're all perky and stuff. I'm so proud of my 42-year-old perky breasts. It's fine. Apparently, anybody can have perky breasts. It's not an age thing, so it's life.
I do think
I
it
love that.
also is something to think about that I think we kind of look a little young for our age, so we don't look like excessively old. So I think it helps us to kind of enjoy the fact that we are the age that we are, and even if you don't really love the gray hairs.
I think it depends on
So
the
I do know
person.
some people.
Like
Well, I
the
know some
person
people
who's
at
looking
our
at us, not
age.
us. But like sometimes I get
Yeah,
some people have asked me if I'm in my 50s. Some people have thought I was Jessica's mother. Some people have thought I was my daughter's grandmother. So,
Jessica's mother. This Jessica?
mm, they're
which
like,
How?
is
"Is that your
that
daughter?" And I'm like, "No, she's
that's crazy.
my sister just 2 years younger than me.
It
Stabbed
only
through my
happened
chest.
once.
Thank you so much." It doesn't matter how many times it happened. It
Age
happened.
ruin.
Only happened once.
I was like,
It's not some
"Oh,
people. It
you
was
think
one
I'm her
person with
mom?"
bad eyes.
No, because even after they said it and they were like, "Oh, well, it's just that moms look young nowadays." And I was like, "Yeah, but you
That's
thought I
not
was
cool.
her
Maybe
mom."
just keep that inside. Like just like you
Ouch.
don't ever ask if somebody's pregnant, maybe just don't be like, "Oh, is this your mom?" You know what I'm saying? Like maybe just don't say that, you guys. You could
And
think
but
it, just don't say it, please.
when someone thought I was my daughter's grandmother, it was also her explanation. She was like, "Well, a lot of people your age tend to have grandchildren already." And I was like, "You're right.
This
I
is
can't even
true.
knock it. I can't even
Grandmothers
knock it
are
because a lot of
getting
my friends are
younger.
grandmothers."
This is true. Grandmothers are getting younger. And so
I mean, but if you
I'm not
think about it,
knocking
our
it. I'm
grandmother was
for
pretty
it.
young. Our grandmother was the same age I am right now. When she started,
See there?
my grandmother was 16 when she started having kids. So by the time her kids started having kids, she was only in her 30s as well. So
See?
it seemed like they were older, but a lot of the grandmothers were in their 30s and 40s back then. It's just we just
Well,
didn't
the
notice.
one thing that's really blowing my mind though is like when you go back and you look at, let's say, like Home Alone, right? And they're talking about the adults in there being like 30, 40, whatever. And you're looking at them and I'm like, these people are grown. But when I look at myself, I don't feel that grown. Like at Home Alone, they had a mansion. You know what I'm saying? And my house is nice, but I was like, I'm not pulling that at this age. What am I doing wrong? So I'm like, has our perspectives of age been skewed this whole time? Because right now, I don't think I'm supposed to be like unsupervised. Like, I don't know why y'all just let me out here loose all the time. Like, I don't feel like a whole adult. But yeah, I don't feel like I'm really grown like that yet. But my
Well, you
age
know
is
what's
getting
so funny?
serious.
Here I am in my 40s, and my youngest is under 5 years old.
Oh,
I
girl.
have
Well, that's
reached.
becoming
Come here,
actually
let
very
me hold you.
common.
Come here, let me hold you.
The majority of moms in my mommy and me classes are in their late 30s and early 40s, and a lot of them are still trying to have more children. Just like
They want more?
we're trying to have more. Yeah, we definitely want at
Look,
least one more.
I'm tired just thinking about it. I'm
they
exhausted. Y'all are
but
so strong.
any what we consider geriatric,
We are
what we
considered
have
Geriatric mothers.
geriatric.
Honestly, I feel like they need to go ahead and
children.
come up with a better phrase for that because it just seems mean spirited. Like, really, why y'all saying that? in a
You know,
nice
it's
medical
funny because
field.
it sounds awful coming from the doctors and nurses, but my friend's daughter had a daughter around the same time I did. Her daughter is actually 2 weeks older than my daughter. And when I went to go visit her while I'm like all blown up, she
Yeah,
says to me, Miss Sarah, you're going to be the coolest old mom I know. Made me
ma'am.
feel good. It actually didn't hurt my feelings. That made me feel good. I was like, oh, she thinks I'm a cool mom already. I'll take it.
If you're gonna be a mom, they want to be a cool mom, right? Like
You know, I
everybody
want to
wants
be.
that, I guess.
I mean, I don't want to be the coolest mom because I'm not here to be her friend. I'm here to guide her. So at the
Well,
end
I'm
of the
not one of your little
day,
friends.
uh, I'm your best friend for right
Yes.
now because you're a toddler. But as you get older, you might change your mind. That's why I videotaped it so I could show you when you catch a little attitude. It's fine. You used to be my best
Mhm.
friend back in the day. It's okay because I'm here to make sure that she does right, not be her best friend.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh.
Oh. So it feels like for the most part, everybody here is kind of embracing the whole aging aspect of life. Hey,
I
all
mean,
right,
there's a lot
just
of
me.
things you
Okay.
learn as you get older, and a lot of things you don't deal with that you would have dealt with when you were younger. Like when I was in my early 20s, I could fight all day. I ain't about that life no more. I would if I had to, but if I could choose to use my words, I know how to do it now. Let's go ahead and debate
Yeah,
this. Let's have
I
a
think we
great
start.
debate.
I think as we get older, we start to value peace a lot more. So we value peace a lot more. So all the fighting and whatnot, it's like it's just you just don't feel like it's really worth it. Also, as I get older, I kind of care a little bit less about what people think. So I guess really what it boils down to is you get older and you just want to chill and you also don't give a damn as much. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Like that part of aging, I'm totally all about, right? Like just not being stressed out like we used to be, not everything being a big deal. And, just being like, I'm gonna say what I want, do what I want. Hey, what you gonna do about it? I'm already old. You can't do nothing to me.
See,
You can't
I
beat me.
think
You
the
can't
flip
whoop
side
me.
of that though,
You
I
know, at
don't
this
is
know
when
point.
you're
why I feel more stressed now. I feel more stress than I did in
Really?
my youth. For me, I'm trying to get back to a state of peace, but I'm like, I'm always frantic, and trying to get day by day. Back in the day, it was free.
I think it's more
You
like
Well,
had
I
that
a
for
think
us
that
because we have toddlers. Because it's pretty frantic when your kids
oh,
are little. So
oh my God, yes. My babies, they put me to bed now. So I'm in a different state. Even though we're like different ages. So I think that's what it is. Your babies are little, while my
mm,
babies, they're pretty self-sufficient and they'll be like, okay, good night, mommy. Rest well. Mwah. They give me a little bedtime story and whatnot.
yeah. See, my Lovey
I
thinks
think,
she's self-sufficient, but she keeps forgetting she's
uh,
only 2. Because she's like, I'll do it, mommy. I'm
yeah.
like, no, you can't do it. You don't even have the dexterity. But I don't tell her that. I just like, okay. And we go to do it together. And she tries. And then, I
Yes.
get behind her and try to fix it. She says, no, mommy, don't do it. I'm like, oh, my bad. Just wait. I'll just wait here
That's
now, I
so
patiently.
I
funny.
do think that like one of the things that is kind of a problem is that um because at this age I'm still dating and not like married and I'm not trying to deal with foolishness, it's more difficult to date. So like when we were
Your
younger, we were like
patience.
I feel like my patience is fine, but also I'm very quick to say we're not aligned. I'm good. So I have a
Yes,
more
best of
a
luck
more
to you. Wish you all the
streamlined view
best.
of like who I
Mm.
am. Yeah, exactly. I have a streamlined view of
Yes.
who I am. I'm not like, oh, okay, we're developing our life and it's okay if you don't have a job or if you're working at Wendy's, it's fine. I'm like, all right, by this time I think you should be established. I should be established, and then we come
Yeah.
together and do things. So, I do think it's more difficult for me to date than when I was younger because I am much less likely to deal with foolishness and things that are not in alignment. So, like,
Well, I think you pointed out two really important things. Well, I think you pointed out two really crucial ideas that should be highlighted is that you have spent more time with yourself So, yes, you know yourself more, right? You're further along in life, so you spent more time with you, so you have a better idea of what's important to you, what you truly like, what you dislike. So you are better aligned with you, right? And what your purpose and goals are. And then additionally, because we're further along in life, you have certain expectations of others, but that's because you've reached these expectations within yourself, right? You've made it so that you are established. You've worked hard for everything that you have. So for someone to come into your life and maybe not be in the same place, you're not going to have the same bandwidth because you're like, I've done it, and I'd like my partner to be able to say they're similar. You want to be more equally yoked, right? As opposed to when you're younger, even though you want to be equally yoked, like you mentioned, you're still developing, you're still learning, you're still growing. At this stage in life, it's like, baby, we gotta. Apparently, our ages are getting serious, so we should be doing serious things,
Touch
like
on that
home.
real quick because I think for Autumn and I, maybe we are so off balance because we don't have that stability with our ADHD. With ADHD, I actually knew myself better in my 20s than I do right now, especially because
Really?
I am more forgetful. I am prone to forget what I was wearing by the time I strip at night. I won't even remember what dress I was wearing by the time I get to the bathroom. I can't remember
Yeah.
what day it is unless I look at the calendar. I am a human
Okay.
calendar in certain aspects where I know numbers like really good. If you give me a number, I'll have it memorized within a few minutes. But people's names, I might remember your face, maybe. But unless you actually made an impression, a lot of people get upset. You just saw me yesterday. Did I?
Did I though? Was I
My
even
nurses
there
get upset. They're
yesterday?
like, "You've been seeing us for
Am I the
years.
same
How come you don't know
person?
our name?" And I'm like, "Did I know it last time?" And sometimes they're like, "Yes." I'm like, "Well, my bad, because it's not last time." So I don't know why I asked that question.
So
So
I do hear that. I
yeah,
do hear that. But what it sounds to me like what you're describing is certain details are getting muddled, right? Day to day things might get muddled, but it sounds like you still have a very good idea of who you are. You're
this,
saying, like, I've kind of always been forgetful, but now it's becoming a little bit more in certain areas. But you come off as someone that's very self assured. You come off as someone that has known themselves probably from an early age, but
yeah,
other
I've
things are
always
getting
known
muddled
myself.
now.
That's the thing. See,
Yeah,
I've
you've
always had the
always known you.
confidence. I've always known
Yes.
how I want to be and who I want to be, but
Hmm.
trying to keep up with other people's expectations at this age can be really tiring because people think you should be a
Oh.
certain way by this age. They're like, "Oh, well, you're in your 40s. You should be doing this. You should be doing that." And I'm like, I'm lucky if I remember to brush my teeth every day. Because if I wake
You're
up
like,
and I
somebody
didn't
got to
go
remind
straight to
me.
brush my teeth, and let's say that I wake up at the same time my daughter wakes up and I'm doing everything for her, and then Mike calls me and some other stuff happens, and I didn't brush my teeth while she was brushing her teeth, which is the best time to do it because I'll never forget to brush her teeth. But my own teeth, oh my goodness. Then a couple hours later, I'm like, oh crap, did I brush my teeth? And you could always tell if the toothbrush isn't wet. So, yeah. Like little stuff like that. Or I take medications. There's alarms set. The alarms are set for me to take it at a specific time every day. Now, before I got pregnant, I was on that schedule. Now, I can't get mad when my blood pressure's raised because I might have forgot to take the medication. Alarm went off and I was busy doing something else and the alarm just didn't matter. And it can go off over and over. So, and other people will get so upset. They're like, "You don't hear that? Crap, I do now that you said something."
That was
I
my
think
alarm
that
going
that
off.
speaks more to being in different stages of your life. So I was talking to somebody not too long ago, and one of the things that I mentioned was I've been so many different people. I've been different
Mm.
people. You've been a different person at different stages of your life. Because if I think of myself as a 15-year-old, and then think of myself as a 22-year-old, and then think of myself as a 30-year-old and a 35-year-old, and now as a 40-year-old, those were all different people. Like every single one of them was a different person because we had different
Absolutely.
experiences. We learned something different. I've now gone through like I had traumas that went from different stages in those life that now I've come to understand and deal with that even 5 years ago I would have freaked out about something that really isn't a bother for me now. And so like knowing that you're just in a different stage of your life than you were before you were pregnant. You have different experiences that have now made you just a different person. So you have to relearn that person. So I feel like that happens over and over in our lives. But the core of us, like you said, you've known who you are and who you want to be for a really long time. And like for some of us, like I knew like the core of me, but I didn't know where I wanted to go. I knew what my end goal was. I didn't know how to get there. I want to be a wife. I want to be a mother. At 40, I still am not a wife or a mother, but I'm also approaching it differently than I ever have. I'm approaching it differently than a 22-year-old who was like, I can wait for this guy to be, to sow his wild oats and figure it out and da da. Nah. Nope. God has somebody for me, and that person is for me, and nobody else can take it away. And I'm not praying specifically like that I'm gonna go find a husband. I'm praying to be a good wife. I'm praying to come into my own, and then I'm praying for my future husband, right? I'm praying for his safety, his resilience. I'm praying that, once we're together that we can we can be aligned, that we're able to have a
Mhm.
peaceful household, be led by God, all of those things, right? And so that wasn't something I prayed for 5 years ago. It just wasn't.
'Cause
It
you've
it wasn't a
grown.
thought process. Yeah, it's a growth factor.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm just in a different place in my life than I was even 2 years ago, right? So, I feel like you're just
That's
experiencing a different time in your life, and I feel like I like each of us, like, if I think of, like, different things that we've talked about of the things we've been through in the last 2 to 3 years, each of us, we're all, like, different than we were 3 years ago. Right? Each of us has
absolutely.
had, like, large life events that have completely made differences and changes in our lives. And
Absolutely.
so I
Yeah,
do think
very
that,
true.
yeah, so now when we're talking about, like, aging and how that works, I do think that's part of the conversation is and that kinda helps us to see how gracefully we age, and also the people that we're around. Because I do think that, like, being around a bunch of oh my gosh, I'm around so many, like, college students, and I'm like, "Oh, geez," sometimes I do feel old. Sometimes I'm like, I quote something from, like and I'm not a huge movie buff. I'm not a huge,
Yeah.
like, person who can, like, quote stuff from tons of songs, so if I quote it, more than likely, 90 to 95% of my generation knows it. So it's
Yes.
nothing obscure. It's something very much well known by our generation. And then somebody be like, "What? Huh? What's
Oh,
that?"
remember a
I'm
few
like,
weeks ago? So our older sister works in a call center as well. And she says that she was saying, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And there was a girl there that was really confused.
Yeah.
Now, all
Oh,
those
that
who are
hurts.
listening out there, before we say where this came from, think about it. Do you know where that came from? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Still tell my child, okay, so she's not even that young. She's only 12, but she's not that young, right? But I still tell my youngest when we're getting ready to cross the street, hold my fin, hold my fin. So, if you guys still don't know, it's from Finding Nemo, the first one, okay? It's important that you watch it. It's movie cinema, all right? It's a
now I
big
have to
deal.
look.
And the fact that it's like
It's
how long
like
ago did that
20
movie come
something years.
out?
I remember Francis saying that it was a couple of decades old. So, ooh, that's aging us.
Oh my god, it was the year that I graduated. 2003.
Oh, you know what?
And
I
it's
don't know.
22
I don't think I
years
like this topic
old.
anymore. Why did I say we should talk
I
about this? It's only making me mad.
think it's pretty great that we're able to say how much we've grown. Like, think about when we were little. The TVs were huge boxes, remember?
Giant
And
boxes.
barely
Yes.
anybody had a cell phone. And if they had a car phone, they were somebody, right? And then all of a sudden, cell phones came out and beepers. Y'all remember beepers? Yeah, if you had a
Never had a
beeper, I had a
beeper.
beeper. I remember the first girlfriend got me a beeper, and if I didn't carry it, I would get in so much trouble. And she would be like, "Do you remember the numbers I told you?" And everybody had codes. And then certain codes you weren't supposed to share with everybody. Like, what was it? 143 is I love you. You don't share that with just anybody. So there was a lot that came along with beepers, but then they upgraded to the Blackberries and those little instant
Oh,
messengers. Remember
And
those?
2 ways.
pretty sure there's people out there right now that don't know what a BlackBerry is. They're like,
Oh man.
so we're going to the
No,
grocery
you know what's
store? What is
crazy?
that?
I worked at an AT&T call center and I was BlackBerry certified.
Amen. Amen.
Have y'all seen that post where it's
Everybody had
like,
a
Oh god.
BlackBerry at one
can
point.
you
Like
can you name a certain
everybody.
car that was around when we were teenagers that's no longer available?
Isn't it like the PT Cruiser? Because your mom drove one. They don't make those anymore. So I remember the
The
PT
last time y'all saw
Cruiser.
Subarus?
Wait, Subarus are still around.
Is it?
I think so.
I haven't seen a
I
Subaru in
think
God
so.
knows how long. Maybe it's just our
Because you're
particular
not in the
neighborhood
right.
because everybody got a Tesla
Yeah,
over
you're
by
not
us.
in the.
It's either Teslas or BMWs in our neighborhoods. Me
So
myself,
it,
I
it
got
it
that nice
depends on the
Hyundai.
circle. You got you a Hyundai, yeah,
I
girl.
love my
But no,
Hyundai.
you're just in a different circle because from what I hear, like Subarus are very prevalent in certain like communities and stuff. Like
That
there's
what it
certain
is.
you like groups, yes. So yeah, like they say, like every lesbian couple that
I'm
likes
trying
to
to
hike
think.
has to have a Subaru. So you just don't hang out with them, apparently. That's
There
why
was
you don't
You
another
go.
don't
one
hang
that
out with Subaru Cruise.
She
I
don't hang out
don't
with the Subaru
remember.
crew.
Remember
So
that
I'm
guy at
telling you right
church
now,
used
you're
to
missing
always.
out.
Was it church or at
Subaru crew's fun.
AMC? Had a Subaru. I loved his Subaru. That was nice.
They're
Remember
nice
when the
cars. They're good
SUVs were
cars.
huge and they didn't have mini SUVs? And then they came out with them and everybody was so happy because it replaced the station wagons.
Oh my God. Okay, that's one facet of adultness and growing older that I refuse to do. I won't ever have a minivan or a station wagon.
I want
I
a
don't care
minivan so
if I had
bad.
3 more kids
Oh,
I
right
hate
now.
minivans.
I want a
I'm not. I
minivan. I want
refuse.
a minivan
No,
so bad.
I won't do it. No.
What?
That was my biggest fear
What?
to have a
I've wanted a
minivan.
minivan since I was little.
That was
I'm
my
trying to
biggest
convince
fear.
Mike so bad I
Wanting
want
a
a
minivan,
minivan. He
that's
would
that's
prefer
a little crazy, like,
a
since you were
SUV,
little.
but I want a minivan. I love minivans.
No,
They
I
have
got a
so
big
many
body SUV right
compartments.
now.
Ugh,
That was my biggest fear.
You
Ain't no
have more
way.
compartments to lose stuff in, Vera. To go
Give
back
me a
and find stuff
minivan,
like,
you shoot
oh,
me.
I didn't know this was in here.
that's
It's not
fine.
worth
See,
it.
That's
I'd
fine. Look, that's when you put
I'd
the
prefer a
canned goods in
hatchback.
this particular compartment.
What'd you say, Autumn? What were you talking about?
So you put me in a, just shoot me if you put me in a minivan. Ain't no way
What
in
shoot
hell.
you?
Choo choo
You
is
gonna choose
Have
death?
y'all
crazy.
seen there's like a
Death?
Kia, I think it's
She
Kia,
chooses death.
Kia Carnival. Is it a Kia Carnival?
Yes, you were looking at
Vera.
the Kia Carnival.
It's a
Mm-mm.
minivan slash SUV. It's so nice looking.
I just feel like I would get lost at the minivan part. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love the
Slash
minivan.
SUV, fine. Minivan, not see, I can't do it.
Oh, you know
Count
what
me
I
out.
always wanted? You remember those vans that used to have the beds in the back? Be having like a whole living room in the back. Oh, they should bring those
Why
back.
you wanted a bed in the back of your car, Farrah. We all know why you wanted a bed in the back of your car.
The little refrigerator.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so you could be hydrated
And you don't
after
ever
them
have to get a
7 bids.
hotel room again.
God.
See, I knew it. See, didn't I say it? Didn't I?
I
I called
mean,
it. Called it.
When
that
you
would
take
be
your
a
road
great road
trips,
trip,
all
I
you got to do is
guess.
stop at the rest stop. Boom. You take it
So
care of.
I would
They got showers at
prefer
the
to
rest stops and
just
everything.
get an RV. I'd just get an
I
RV.
An
wouldn't mind an
RV, I
RV,
Broadband.
but
could
they're so
do.
big.
I could do an RV. That I'm
Me
okay with.
too.
But a
Me
straight
too.
up like minivan or
I don't
station
know.
wagon, I just feel like it would make me way too grown. Like I
How
would
big
feel
is the
very old.
bathroom?
And I
Way too
already feel
grown.
old. I'm just saying. I
We
don't
should
I
want
we
a
don't I
should
don't
totally
minivan.
mind either
invest in an
way.
RV.
I'm married grown, I got kids grown, got a house grown, but I don't want to be like station wagon, minivan grown.
I wouldn't mind having a
I
station
don't want to be
wagon.
that grown.
Although kids can't sit in the back anymore, guys.
Huh?
No more piling kids in the back
You're
of a
talking about
station wagon and left.
She's talking about the old station wagons where I don't know if
Oh,
you guys used to see them. Like they were all the way in the back. They would have a flip down seat, and then
yep.
you would like sit in the flip down seat and put your seatbelt on. You were not at all secured. It was literally like just
But it was
You were
fun
not.
though. It was
It
fun.
was
just like a
fun
flap
though.
that flaps down, and you put your seatbelt on. The seatbelt is like going from all the way over there to
It
the
was safer
middle.
than riding in the back
So
of the
it's
pickup
like
trucks we used to
it
ride
was
in.
not particularly safe.
And people still ride in the back of them pickup trucks.
Yeah, but that's illegal.
Yeah.
Just
You
girl,
can get in a lot of trouble. It's illegal
Yeah.
to
not
ride in
I
the back
here.
remember
of pickup
almost being
trucks.
bounced out of a pickup
Is
truck.
that in every
Somebody
state? Because
bounced
we're in
over something,
Hawaii,
I
and my
don't know.
body just kind of
Here it is.
I almost bounced
Remember
right out the back of
oh
that
when
truck.
God,
Jessica was learning how to drive, I was in the back of a pickup truck and I flew
That was
over
great.
the cab.
that was a choice. Yeah,
She
you
did
knew
a
she was
hard
learning how to
stop
drive. Why was you in the back of the pickup truck?
Because
You knew.
I was
because it was
learning
full of
how
adults
to
inside.
use a
So
stick shift though. Like anybody who wants to be in the back of a pickup truck while somebody's learning how to use stick shift, how to
So
do stick
brave.
shift, that is a life choice. That
That's bravery right there.
is a brave life choice. That is
I want you to know, in my old
not
age,
good
I would not make
bravery
that
though.
choice. In my advanced geriatric age, I would not
I
make that
don't think
choice at
Farrah
all.
would either.
Sarah, Sarah, would you do it again
I
now
mean, my
at your
niece
current
can't
age?
take it now.
I know that's
Back then,
right.
I just jumped up and dusted off. Back then, it was like, no blood. I'm good. It's fine. You alright? You alright? Why am I
Y'all
asking
good?
other
Y'all
people if
good?
they're okay? I don't know.
Now you need 3 business days to recover. It's no joke out here. It's no
So
Man,
joke.
if you guys felt like you were starting to like physically age, do you think you would get any work done?
no.
Or
What do
does
you
it
mean a
depend on
work?
what
What do
kind
you
of
mean by
aging?
work? What do you mean
Like a
exactly? Are you talking about like
facelift
a facelift?
I
like
like my
the neck
wrinkles.
thing where they remove the extra skin or like
I got that
You can
now.
just
anything.
remove part of your neck?
I got extra
You can
skin
like
now.
remove extra skin, like you know how it like sags. You can get your face
Yeah.
like your face contoured. You can get like extra skin removed. Would you get a breast lift? Would you do anything like Botox? Anything?
I don't know. I don't know. Like
I wouldn't do
because
nothing
I'm
to
not
my
gonna.
face. I wouldn't do nothing to my face. Other body
Nor
parts, you
should
know.
you. Look at that face, Autumn. Nor should girl. Come on now.
Thank you.
Look, look at you. Looking how you just a
Thank
looking.
you.
Why would you?
I mean, looking at people that don't really need it. Okay, prime example. One of our favorite hip hop artists, Lil Kim.
Girl,
This one's
hurts my heart
because
Lil
every
of the
Kim.
time.
aging though.
What's
Hers
wrong
was
with
Lil
not
her?
Kim
because of
was
the aging.
gorgeous.
Hers was body dysmorphia, I think.
What happened to her?
She would just got a lot of work done. She doesn't look the
Yeah,
same.
She
Like
but
got so much
here's
work
the
done on
ninety.
top
thing.
of work done on top of work done. You if you looked at pictures that are side by side of her originally and her now, you would not think it's the same person.
But she's older than us.
Agreed.
You know, she's still
Yeah, but
older
she
than
did it's
us.
not like that work is new though. Like it wasn't that she got it when she turned old. She was dissatisfied with her body and she started very young and kept on getting
Okay,
all these
all right.
different things
Okay.
done.
Let's not use Lil Kim. Vivica Fox.
Is that the
Yeah,
one whose
I feel
breast
like she was
fell in the
prettier
middle of
before.
like a show or something?
Say it again.
Is that the
I don't
one
know
whose
who.
breast like fell in the middle of a show or something? Like she was doing some kind of breast work and something happened to her breasts? I know who
Vivica
Vivica
Fox?
Fox is. Don't get it twisted. I actually know who she is. She's a very nice woman who did a lot of great movies, but I'm confused about the work is what I'm saying because I'm trying to think
She
hard.
just got she got a BBL done
She did,
and some
but she had such a
yes
nice voice.
and
I
some
know
other
that's right.
cosmetic stuff done to her body. But a lot of the stuff that I understand trying to do it after a certain age, but it start to look weird.
Well, my thing is they're all surgeries, and since
Yeah.
I've had surgeries that for stuff that's actually that I've had to have surgeries, I would never elect to get a surgery. that I don't have to get, because even doing some of the stuff that I've had to go through, with my general health, I'm not going to go under anesthesia if I don't have to. I'm not going
Yeah.
to get anything done that I don't have to. I don't want to be poked by a needle unless I have to. I have to in general because of my health issues. So I don't want to sit there and do it just because I don't like the way I look, because I'm sure I'll get over it. Sometimes when I first get my hair done, I don't like it. But guess what? Within a week or two, I'm like, oh, I look good. So that's part of life. If I see a
Yeah.
new wrinkle and I didn't like it at first, oh, there's some wrinkles. Damn. Within 2 weeks, I'm like, damn, those wrinkles look good on me, though. It's life. It's just part of life. You know, you got to grow to love yourself regardless of. When we were growing up, everybody told me how ugly my feet were. And then when I turned 16, someone took me to a salon and got my toes done. And she was like, oh my God, your toes are gorgeous. I still have something where I think my feet are ugly. But a lot of times other people tell me how gorgeous my feet are. I don't know if they are or aren't, but I grew to love them regardless. They're mine. God gave them
They're
to
part of
me. Who
you.
cares? Yeah, they're me. They're mine.
Yeah.
If somebody thinks they're ugly, it's okay, because they're not the ones who have
Yeah.
to walk on them. I like them just fine. It's fine. It is what it is. So that's just my take on it. Again, Jessica said earlier, I haven't really cared about other people's opinions much in my life unless I start to love you, then I start caring. So eh, I don't know if I'll ever actually care
And
if other
isn't that
people
funny
think I
that the
look
people
old.
that you yeah. Isn't that funny though that the people that you love and start caring deeply for don't tell you stuff like your feet are ugly? Isn't that funny how that works out?
I remember
So the people
one of
that
my
you love,
exes used to always call my feet little sausages. And for the longest it used to bother me. But eventually it makes me laugh. You know, even when I
yeah.
talk to him
He
nowadays,
probably wanted to eat the little
it's
sausages in secret.
I don't think so. I don't think he's
He
that
probably
kind of
wanted to eat the
guy.
little sausages in
But
secret. He probably had a foot fetish.
I don't know. But I don't think so. A
Autumn,
lot of
you
people
said you
used to
wouldn't
talk
get
bad
your
about my
face
feet.
done.
What'd you say?
I was saying, Autumn, you said you wouldn't get your face done. Does that mean you're open to other things? You'd get other
Yeah,
procedures?
yeah. I'm trying to do stuff uh naturally, if you will.
Hmm. Hmm.
Exercise, watch what I consume. Um, yeah. But you know what's so funny? We speaking about this topic. All of
Hmm.
us, we're beautiful women, and life hasn't beaten us up like other people our age has. You got people that are addicted to drugs and alcohol, and they look older than their age. Life is really beating them down. So there's so many factors that come into play when it
Yeah.
to
Big ones that people
age.
don't
And there's
think about
other, yeah.
are like really like sedentary lifestyle. And so like Autumn, you have a young child. Farah, you have a young child. Keisha, you work in a hospital. So like you're on your feet, up and going all the time. I find that most of the people that I see our age who have more issues and look more aged don't really get out and go, and they don't walk much. They don't get up and move much. They don't think about what they eat. They don't take care of themselves in the ways that are easier to kind of, take care of, I don't know, that like elasticity and that sort of stuff. So that is one of the big ones is that like working out and getting yourself moving helps the elasticity of your skin. And so that's a really big one that it's easy, but people would rather like go get Botox than go to the gym. So it's
And
kind of
drinking
one of those
water.
things. And drink water
Drinking
and
water
making sure you have the
is a
right kind of
major factor.
vitamins and yeah,
Hmm.
Drinking
and
water,
taking the
minding your own
healthy
business,
stuff.
being kind to other people, all that stuff helps your skin. Everybody knows that
I was actually looking
scientifically.
into collagen recently, foods that include collagen, because, like Jessica said, with gaining weight and losing weight a lot, My weight fluctuates ridiculously. I can go from size 2 to size 18 to size 10, and I don't really know what changes it because I eat the same. I'm a really greedy person, if y'all don't know. I love food. It's part of my everyday from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. If I could be snacking during this podcast, I would. But I love food. And for some reason, sometimes it makes me lose weight and sometimes it makes me gain weight. But I'm pretty much a junk food eater. I do eat healthy now that I'm older. After I had a baby, I started eating healthier, but I don't eat as healthy as I could. And recently when I lost, I think like 60 or 70 pounds, the skin is harder to go back than it used to be. So I was talking to Jessica about some things to do, and she was like, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes? Just yummy sweet potatoes that I can add a little bit of brown sugar can help with this skin problem. So I'm starting to try and eat sweet potatoes, and I didn't know beans. Beans are really good. I'm trying to think of what I read yesterday, something about peptides and hydraulics and collagen. It's like, just look it up. How to loosen
I've been
skin when
taking
you lose weight.
collagen peptide. I was taking collagen pep. I'm gonna start back, but it's like a mix
Mhm.
that you put in your drinks in the morning or whatever. I would put it in my tea, and it had like different flavors. And the collagen peptides made my nails grow. Um,
Ooh.
the elasticity, in my skin, bounce back a little bit.
Send
I
that
haven't
to
taken it
me.
in a while, but yeah, I look into like and I'm trying to look into you know, natural things.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I'm
one of the
going to
things people
go
don't think
trying to take a
about
bunch of
are like
supplements, but
organ
maybe
meat.
something that I can drink would be good.
Well, some people
What'd
don't
you
think
say,
about it,
Jess?
and they think it's kind of gross, but organ meat. Organ meat is actually very good for you, and it
Okay.
has and I know most people don't like it, but you can actually put it in things
Organ
that you
what?
wouldn't like organ meat.
Like liver and heart.
kidney, like liver, kidneys,
Sig
like
Yeah.
heart. So chicken hearts, chicken liver, beef liver is really great for you. So but also leafy greens, beans. Make sure you're like having a
Give me
balanced
greens.
diet.
I'll take greens all day.
Eat this plant
I'll eat
right
the
now.
liver.
I just
I didn't
Please
Beans
think
don't
I
are
take the
good
liked
liver
for
from me, Jess.
liver.
It's
me.
fine.
One of
Make
my
a burger for me.
friends
It's
at
fine.
work gave me like a fantastic recipe. Like I tried it and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, that's gross." And then he actually gave me a recipe, and I was like, "Oh, it doesn't even taste the texture isn't the same, anything." So like you have to
Liver
get a
pate.
really great recipe to be able to eat
Liver
organ meat because
pate. Good. Good.
organ meat feels very velvety. So it's so much different than most other meat that you eat that you're like, "Oh, this is not a normal mouthfeel." So most people don't really like it, but you just gotta get a really good recipe, a couple of really good recipes, which again,
Liver pate is
I
one
have
of them.
a
Yeah.
I'm
Caribbean
down.
friend. Liver pate is pretty
I'd way
good.
rather eat meat
But
over
he just
eating
like
greens, Autumn. Yeah.
it's like a stewed liver recipe. It's actually amazing. So I
So it
can
sounds
eat
like you're making
that
food this
and
week.
I'll I can make it. You just have to have an open mind. Don't think of it as beef. Think of it as something else. I always that's all what I always say is that if you're trying brand new food, even if it's within a food group that you think about like it's adjacent to, don't think of it as a brand new thing because what a lot of times happens is that you think of it that way and then you're like, that is not what I was expecting. I don't like it. So like bacon, I can eat turkey bacon because I don't think of it as bacon. It's just a whole different category of thing. Turkey bacon is not regular bacon and it is never going to be anywhere adjacent to bacon. It's just a different food.
So you
You just
so
call it
you
turkey
are
bacon.
you're lying you're lying to yourself, or you're
No,
counteracting the lies that we're being told because they tell you it's turkey bacon, but everybody knows it's not really
counteracting the
bacon?
Where
lies
do
that
they
we're
get
being
the turkey
told
bacon
because
from?
it's not turkey bacon.
Mm,
What part of the turkey? I
Turkey
mean, I
I
bacon
eat
eat
is
it.
it.
literally
I don't
You
really
can do it
it's
care.
now.
not. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not. So bacon is a cut of meat that we slice, right? Turkey bacon is a turkey bacon is a processed food that is turkey that they
Moron.
make
Every
look
time I
like
equate
bacon
bacon, I'm
slices.
thinking of a pig, not a turkey. Every time I
That's why
equate bacon,
that's
it's
why
a
when I
pig,
when I eat
not a
turkey
turkey.
bacon, I'm like, it is just a food product of turkey. It is not bacon. It is not made in the way that bacon is. Bacon is a cut of pig. Even
How's
even beef
beef
bacon
bacon made?
is a cut of beef.
Hmm.
It's a cut of beef and then you slice it,
I know they
right?
made
So
beef bacon.
It's so yummy.
yeah,
It's so yummy.
yeah. So
Interesting.
it's not the same thing. Turkey bacon, beef bacon, pork bacon, all different products. I don't think of any of them as the same.
Valid.
So
Valid.
anytime that I try new stuff. So do we think that there are different beauty standards or aging standards for men and women?
Yes.
Oh yes, absolutely. If they're right or wrong, I don't know, but I do know there's definitely different standards for sure.
People think that when men go bald,
So
sometimes
how do you guys feel about what are they?
some people think that being bald is beautiful. They're like, "Oh, look at that beautiful bald man. Let me rub his head." But then if you see a bald woman, you're all upset, even though it could be something like alopecia or something. They're like, "Oh my gosh, how could she walk around like that?" Unless it's an actual choice, which is ridiculous. How could somebody go bald and it's something hereditary or something that's genetic or something going wrong, and people are looking at her all crazy versus somebody cutting their hair and they're like, "Oh, your hairstyle looks great." That's confusing. You know what
We
I
gotta
mean?
look at
Yeah.
the beauty standards that the patriarchy has placed upon society, especially when it came to women. Um, yes, it's a double standard because men can walk around here with beer bellies and a flock of chickens can come to them with no problem. And when we become of age, we're old looking. They feel like we are trying to compete against the younger generation, and I don't
Yes.
think that is what's going on. So it's a double standard, and I believe it's all based on the male's standard of what looks nice and what doesn't, as far as beauty standards,
I
I
will say
believe.
that as a woman with a mustache and a beard, when I was younger, I used to be really embarrassed about it because of the standards that society places on us. Now, I mean, I stopped caring a long time ago, but I see a lot of younger people who are okay with the fact that they're already getting a mustache or who have full beards and they don't even try and pick them out. And I'm really proud of these women that are so comfortable that they don't feel terrible or feel humiliated to have a beard. Because I remember being at a job once and I think I got a little hair right here. And sometimes you don't really think about it. You go and like just pop it out. And this guy actually told me, "Aren't you embarrassed to do that in front of a man?" And I was like, "Only if you're embarrassed to watch me." And he didn't get the joke. But either way, he tried to make me feel bad about pulling out something that's naturally growing in my body. First of all, I shouldn't even have to pull it out because it shouldn't be a standard whether I have a beard or not. And second of all, there's a lot of women who grow it due to actual like PCOS or other type of genetic
Mhm.
conditions, but there's also women who just grow hair because they're hairy. And I used to say that I'd rather be hairy than not until I learned about alopecia. Now I feel bad that I ever said that because I didn't know it was a genetic disposition to be bald as well. You don't know what people are going through to knock them for being bald or hairy. And a lot of times as
Just let
women, we
people
get knocked.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do agree. I think we probably get knocked for more things. I feel like that double standard is very real and that we're kind of conditioned to believe that men can present a certain way, but women have to be beyond reproach. Like if you look at and I'm gonna age us again, but if you look at some of the shows that we grew up watching, like The Simpsons, right? Homer had that beer belly, but Marge was slim and trim, or Family Guy, where Peter Griffin is 2.5 Loises at least.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying?
yep.
But Lois has to be, you know. Um, oh, what was another one? Married with Children. Okay, I don't know if y'all remember that one. I love that one. But that guy, his hairline was receding. But Pam, her hair was done in full face of makeup. Even when she was at home every day, she had a full face of makeup. Where are you going? You were a housewife. Why you got okay? But that's just kind of how we've been conditioned to be. You have to be in the kitchen with your heels on, frying up a pork chop, grease flying everywhere, but your makeup has to be in place. Like what is this? What
Speaking
is
of
this?
which, it
Mind
always
you,
kills me on TV shows when there's a cop or somebody working in the medical field wearing these high heels. You can't do that in real life. Why are they doing it on TV? Be realistic. Wear some work boots.
put some work boots on, ladies.
Why are you a
And know
fighter
that that's
fighter wearing
okay.
some cowboy boots? Stop it, I say.
It's
Maybe
not
get your claws.
realistic at
You a
all.
nurse. Stop it.
But I just feel like it's important to let people live. If they're not hurting anything or anybody, let them present how they want to present. If you have a full face of makeup and a mustache, you're not hurting anyone. Let the people live. If, the guy has a beer gut, that's fine. Let him live. But I think the problem comes in is when you start judging other people based on those things, or where you start like projecting. Like, I know we've all probably seen that, the show where they pop a balloon, right, to say they wouldn't date someone. And the one thing that really stands out for me is like when they're guys that are heavier set and they're saying that their woman has to be very fit. She has to be in the gym. That's why they pop the balloon. And I'm like, but you're not in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you expect it of her, but you don't do it yourself? And vice versa. I feel the same for women. You can't expect things of men that you yourself aren't willing or able to do. But if you can't do it, that's okay, but don't judge other people for having the same or similar shortcomings. Just let people live. That's just how I see it. So I feel like men and women should be able to walk around however they want, as long as they're not hurting nothing and nobody.
You know, one
But
of the
that
things
doesn't
that get
seem
a
to be the
lot.
case.
How come you don't wear
Are
makeup?
definitely specific beauty standards that, yeah, I think makeup is a really big one. So makeup is one that a lot of times women are just expected to wear makeup. They're expected to be done up all the time. You always have to have your nails done. You always have to get your feet done. You always need to have a full face of makeup. Your hair always has to be done. I've been told, "Hey, how come you don't get your hair done more often?" I'm like, "Cause I have 4C hair. Manipulation isn't great for my hair. I'm under bald headed, getting my hair done all the time."
So why is that
Right?
why is that anybody's
Why do I know you
business?
don't like weave, but yeah, and also I like my hair. So if I like my hair, what's the problem? But why? Well, you don't do nothing to your hair. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
If you're gonna go,
There's
if you're
trending.
gonna find a 4C specialist to go and have my hair done and have it done well and not have my hair break every 2 weeks, you're welcome to put in the money. But also, men will be like, "Well, I'm not paying for a woman's upkeep. I just want her to be fully coiffed
Kept.
all the time.
She
Put that in
she
your
needs to be
budget."
upkept.
No,
Yeah,
she
but I
has to
won't
be
pay for the
upkept.
upkeep.
No, I don't want my nails done all the time. I don't want my
It
hair
hurts.
straightened all the time. I'm not putting a full fit. I'm
It
not putting any
hurts.
makeup on. And if that's what you want, it's okay for you to not be over here.
You know
That's
what?
very true.
I think there has been a trend for the past decade where we as black women, we didn't pile on as much makeup and all this other false identity kind of props, if you will, on our body. Uh Back in the 90s, we was like the bangle earrings, some lip gloss, light lipstick, and just a little bit of mascara.
Mascara. Mhm.
I don't know if y'all remember that of us or, people in our generation. Fast forward now, we are walking around with a full face of makeup, um, got hair all the way down to our ass. Um, and I believe those are European standards. Um, and back in the day, that what was told to us that what men like. They like the women with the long hair, the Becky with the long hair, uh, and put some makeup on. A lot of us was beautiful, is beautiful naturally, period. But now, fast forward now, every other woman got something that was not natural. And a lot of men are now crying about that. They don't want the women with the wigs and the eyelashes. Make up your mind.
Well, that's the problem though. The same guys who are saying, "Well, I want a natural woman." They get a natural woman, they're like, "Not that natural. Not that natural. I want you to look natural and have a full face on. Like
Well, that was
I
the
want to not be
thing.
That
able to
makes no
tell that you've got fake eyelashes on. I want to not
Yeah,
be able to tell that I don't want to see the lace in your front.
Y'all
Like,
remember that
yeah.
I don't want
episode
to see
with
the
Gina when she
lace.
popped off her
It's
nails?
not I want you to make sure you melt that down. That's what I want.
So
Melt that down. I
I
don't want to see it.
remember
So that's the
a while
problem.
back. Yeah, I remember a while back. It was in some like magazine, like People magazine or whatever, where they did like a survey of guys, and they asked like, "What do you like to see on women?" And the guys were like, "We like when they have like a natural face, like that no makeup look, like Kim Kardashian." And then everybody was like, Kim Kardashian wears a ton of makeup. Like, what are you talking about? You have no idea how much product she used to get this no makeup look. Like, it wasn't realistic at all. And I will say that my husband personally wants me to truly be natural. He's not one of the ones that's like, I want you to be natural, but not for real. He's not a fan of the makeup or the lipstick or the eyelashes because, he wants me to be able to kiss all on him and not leave stuff behind. He embraces me truly as I am. And I absolutely love and adore him, not just for that reason, but just because all in all, he's just an amazing guy. He's very patient, he's very kind. However, me, I am addicted. Okay, I got a problem. I can't leave the lashes alone. I will not leave the lipstick alone. Even when I learn things like okay, I will say like I used to like perm and relax my hair because that's what we all did back then. But I learned, that's not necessarily the best for us. So I stopped doing that and I decided to go natural in that regard. So I understand that there's certain things that so many factors that come into play. There's so many pressures that we have as women to present a certain way. But what I also hope that we can all come to understand is at the end of the day, you're the one that has to live with you. So you have to do what's right and best for you. If you want to wear the lashes, wear the lashes. If you want to have the bust down, Brazilian all the way down to your butt, go for it. But if that's not something that you truly enjoy, that's not something that you truly like, you don't have to do it to be appeasing to anyone and everyone, because I promise the right one is going to like you just how you are. And don't sell
understand where
yourself
you're coming
short.
from, Keisha. I understand where you're coming from, but back in the 60s, 50s and 60s, the
Hmm.
mamas would tell their daughters, you gotta upkeep yourself if you want to keep your man. You gotta wear these
Hmm.
kind of clothes if you want to get the attention of a man. So I understand where you're coming from. Be yourself, live in your authenticity.
Authentic. Yeah, authentic
Yeah.
self. Yeah.
And that
However,
and it's a good way to be.
mhm,
But society tells you different, shows you different, you
I
know?
will say you
And
do bring up a very good point. Yes, but also back then, a woman's livelihood was very much intertwined with keeping a man, right? Like we weren't able to have credit cards, our own bank accounts, or own property of our own for a very long time. So we um, rel were very much dependent on pleasing a man in order to stay alive and be okay. And in some instances in today's
you
society,
also
that's still the
had
same.
limited access to a limited pool of men.
Yes, right? Because we didn't have the World Wide Web, you couldn't move around as much, and your resources were limited, right? And your standing in society had direct correlation with how you stood next to a man. So that was a very important part of a young woman's upbringing because that woman was trying to make sure her daughter would be okay after she was gone, right?
You
When I
don't think
die, I
that's
know you'll be
happening
in good
now?
hands.
You don't think
I'm
that's
sorry, love?
happening now? You don't think
Oh,
that's
no, I
happening now?
think
to
I
this
think
day.
it's happening now, but not to the extreme extent because now we are able to vote. Now we are able to own property. Now we're able to have bank accounts and credit
Yeah, yeah,
cards, and we can
on
have business loans. So
on a
while we are
material
still held to
on a
many
material
confines,
On a material level, yes, but
uh,
on a human to human, animalistic relationship level, we still want companionship, and we still
mm,
have to be attracted to each other, some form or fashion. That's why a lot of men feel like when they get a certain age, they can gravitate towards the younger generation of women and leave women in our age group alone. They
So I
still
think I think
value
that speaks to the
beauty.
alignment, though. I think that
yeah,
speaks to the alignment because there are men who do want a more natural woman. There are men that don't want the full face, but in that time we were all like they were all taught the same thing. You make sure you wake up in the morning, even though you're a stay-at-home mom, you wake up in the morning, you put the full face on, you make sure you've got your corset on, make sure you pull it tight, let them see that waist and all of that. So right, you were making sure you put on the show for and it was kind of across the board. Now we're more able to see, well, some men don't actually want that, and we can find alignment with the man who wants, like Keisha said, she's like, I'm addicted, I love this stuff, and my man loves me natural, but he also likes, he enjoys when I'm done up, right? He likes the
and he
both
enjoys when I'm
things.
happy. So
Yeah, and he
he lets
enjoys
me
her
do the
just
things
being
that make
happy
me
about it.
happy.
And so
Yeah,
if you love a full face, get a guy who also loves the full face. And if you like me, I don't put makeup on. I actually can't put makeup on. My
I see.
face is so sensitive that I've tried to put makeup on a couple of
Just
times.
think about it.
I break out like I put mud on my face. Like I just smeared dirt everywhere and waited for myself to get acne. I literally can't use anything. And I also realized I really don't want to. I'm not gonna go and try a bunch of different things because I don't really feel like putting makeup on. I don't feel like it's a good, like it really aligns with what I want, right?
It's hard to remember
Yeah.
it's
So
there.
the man that I find needs to understand I'm not wearing makeup. I'll put some lipstick on, I'll put some lip gloss on. Heck, if you really want me to, I'll figure out how to line my eyes. I'll put a little bit of mascara on if you really want me to. I'll try it out. I'm
But
not
we
putting
do
the
it for
full face
special
on.
occasions.
You're gonna have to find
Remember
somebody
we
else
did
to
it
do it.
for that wedding?
No, I don't.
Didn't we
I
all?
don't. I hated
What I
it.
think,
I hated it.
but what I
I hated
think,
it so bad. I look like a doll. I
But
looked
we did it
like a little
still.
baby
We
doll.
did. Oh my God. She treated us like little China dolls. She put
I
like
hated it.
actual red cheeks on us. We had circles. It was very
oh,
embarrassing.
oh my.
Markeisha had my
But
Markeisha. I got my makeup done for a photo shoot when we went to Hawaii, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice." But also afterwards, I looked at the pictures and I'm like, "This is
Not
cool,"
me.
but I 100% would not do that every day.
after,
But I
after,
found the best lip gloss ever. Like I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
I love that color." But afterwards, I was like, "Oh, that's nice for an event, like
You could
taking
change your
pictures."
whole
But I
face.
wouldn't do that every day.
Remember a
yeah,
couple
very
years ago
true.
when I went to that wedding? We went to my friend's wedding and Mike got my face done before we went to the wedding because he was part of the wedding. And when we looked at my nose, it was like a totally different shape. Even
Yeah.
now, when I look at the pictures, it
Yeah.
amazes me how it looks like a whole different person.
It's true. We can shapeshift when we feel like it, and I'm
Yeah.
here for it. But other people aren't, and that's okay. But I think what Autumn is trying to say is that in so many aspects, especially as we get older, how we appease men is still very much important part of our lives. Like it can have ramifications for our well-being because as men get older, they gravitate towards younger women, and we're not the youngest of women anymore. Is that kind of what you're trying to say, Autumn?
Yeah, I mean, this beauty standards is, yeah, it's double standard. They can walk around and be the frumpiest looking human being, pot-belly, balding, fat, and still pull younger women. And they expect the older women to look like the younger women. So there are some older women trying to compete. And then you got the younger women, we taking your man because you look like an old maid, or it's just ridiculous out here.
And that does
Ageism
sound
is a big thing now. Ageism, like a lot of the men, and they getting caught. Shannon Sharp messing with underage girls,
Well,
women.
remember that post where we were called antiques? All I could say is that antiques are coveted.
Yeah.
Antiques are coveted,
Dog,
baby.
dog.
Not everybody can have one, and they're priceless. So,
That part.
bruh, if you don't
That.
think you want me because you think I'm old, guess what? You just missing out on this good old
Some
treasure.
stuff is just self-reflection because that gentleman was quite heavy on the salt, more than the pepper. So, I mean,
yeah.
it was, it did come from somebody who I think probably has bad self-reflection, but also, like I said, there are more and more guys saying, "I never liked makeup. I'm okay with my girl putting on makeup if we go to some event or something, but I really don't want my lady wearing makeup. I don't want her. I
Yeah.
want her to go to the gym. I want her to live a healthy lifestyle. I want her to when I talk about personal upkeep, I'm talking about like her living a healthy lifestyle. And so like we also have to listen to what the men are saying, which is like even though our mom might have been like, "You don't go outside of the house unless you put the powder on," some of the men are saying, "Nah, that has nothing to do with what I'm asking of you."
Yeah.
So we also have to kind of equate what
So
did your mother say versus what are men telling us they actually want, and one is
okay,
not
but
the same thing as
Do
the
your
other.
also
Some
Kegels.
some
a
men
part of that equation
100%
should
want the
be,
BBL, the makeup and everything. So
but one very important part of the equation should also be, what do you want as a person? What makes you happy, right? We're not going to live by what our mom says and necessarily what our man says without being true to ourselves. Like that's very important. And I do want to point out that I do things to impress my man. Like he really likes when I wear the gold hoops, the big hoops. So I make sure when we go out, I wear the gold hoops. He doesn't particularly like bright red lipstick. So even though I'm addicted to lipstick and I really like it, I won't wear the bright red when him and I are together because, he doesn't want to wear that when I give him kisses and whatnot. So I respect it, but I still find a way that works for me. I love big earrings. Dangly chandeliers are my favorite, but because he likes hoops, I'll put on hoops when we're together, and I put on chandeliers when I'm doing something else. So it's about finding things that are true to you as well. And I do want to say that it's important, that I think Autumn brought up some really good points. There's parts of the whole dating atmosphere that is really toxic, it seems. And this whole being in competition with one another, I think really should be something that's left in the past. The only competition you have is with yourself. Are you a better version of you than you were 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago? Right? If somebody can take your man, I'm gonna tell you right now, he probably wasn't really yours. Okay, that man was for the street. And if somebody could take your girl, she wasn't really yours. And actually, they're doing you a favor. Say goodbye, because you should want to be with someone that cares about you, values you, and is going to be loyal to you. We're not competing anymore. It ain't worth it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your peace. If they want to go, let them go. I promise the right person will come along and love you for who you are deep down inside. So if you're doing things to try to keep someone or put somebody else down, you're not using your time wisely. Do stuff that makes you happy, that helps enrich you and enriches those around you. That's what you should be focusing on, not competing.
And also,
And
you
I
should
think there's
focus
one
on your
other point I
confidence.
want
and
to
that doesn't
make.
have to do with age.
It doesn't
That
have
does not
nothing to
have
do
to
with
do with
age. At
age.
any age, you can realize this. At
And
any
and it's
age, you can
important you keep your
choose
confidence through all
yourself.
this. No matter what, you always want to keep your own self-respect, your own self-dignity. You always want to make sure that you're happy with yourself. I know people be like, okay, nobody be happy with you unless you're happy with yourself. That's a lie. That's a lie because some people will try their hardest and you'll be unhappy, but they be happy with who you're trying to pretend to be. But it doesn't matter because you're the one who's unhappy. Just be happy. Be happy with yourself. Love yourself. And no matter how terrible you think you look, it's okay. I think some parts of me are, oh my goodness, this is a little bit, jelly like. That's terrible. But I love my
But
terrible
Mike
me.
probably eats
You
that
know what I
jelly
mean?
up. Mike is like, that's
Yeah.
the best part.
It is what
He's
it
like,
is. And
yes,
it could go through
yes.
Also,
my mind for a few seconds sometimes, but at the end of the day, that I'm like, but I love my jelly self. I love me so
Mhm.
Also,
much.
we have to also look this double standard stuff when it comes to age. Um, we as women, we're always put down as we age. We're not going to attract suitable mates, or nobody's gonna be attracted to us. That's a lie.
Thank
That's
you.
a big lie. That a lot of women, we as women, we need to see through that lie, because different strokes for different folks.
Yes.
I just got my Cougar card last year. So
Amen.
so that lie that lie don't
Yeah.
fly with me. So it don't matter the age. If somebody wants you, they looking for you, what they want, they're gonna find you. Period. It don't
Promise.
matter your
Promise
age, your
that.
lifestyle. Yeah.
And you won't even have to try too hard. Just show up as your authentic self, and I promise
Yep.
somebody's gonna come looking for you. They're gonna be like, "Yes, that's exactly what I want." And another prime example of what Autumn is saying is, I was reintroducing my child to Prince because they only knew Prince through the latest episode of Stranger Things, and I was like, I have failed as a mother. So we were listening to Prince, and then there was this one line where my kid was like, "What is he talking about?" Because he said, "At your age, not your shoe size." And they're like, "What is he talking about?" And I was like, "You missed the part before where he says, 'Women, not girls, rule my world.'" So he's saying he likes fully developed grown women, right? That can be mature and so on and so forth. He wasn't chasing after, them pretty young things that are barely legal. So this whole conception that, only young women are desirable, again, this is a total misconception. Some might have you believe that, but don't buy into everything that people are trying to sell you, because it's just not true. And my husband will tell you that I look better now than I did back then, because I had an awkward phase. I had an awkward phase when I was growing up. I had an awkward phase when I was grown and I was growing out my natural hair. But now he's like, my baby's aging like wine. And I'm like, thank you, boo. And that's how he feels. And I'm like, you know what? I agree. Thank you, baby. Let's keep aging together. Let's keep growing together. And
And that's the
honestly, I
beautiful
couldn't
thing.
look. Thank you. And I honestly could not look at a young person and be like, "Ooh, yeah, that's where it's at." To me, they seem like they're underdone sometimes. They're just a little undercooked. You know what I'm saying? But that's because that's where I am in life. And there's plenty of guys that feel the same way. They look at a very young lady and that's all they see is a very young lady. So don't buy into the hype or propaganda that after you reach a certain age, nobody's looking for you, because my husband's still checking for me, and I'm
I
checking
actually
for
know
him too.
quite a few
So
men our age who won't even look at younger women like that. They start thinking of their daughters. They're like, ugh, ugh.
yeah,
Certain women, it's just, ugh. They could
They
be my
mature
daughter's
men.
age. Ugh.
They're mature
yeah,
men. Those kind of men, they're mature and they don't feel like they losing out on something.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I know a bit
I
of
like
both.
men like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know
yeah.
both, but
I know
there's
a bit
quite a
of
few of
both.
them
I
that it
know
surprised
somebody
me. They're
who's
like,
in their late 30s dating somebody who hasn't turned 21, and
And she was just
I know
making a point
somebody
too. Oh Lord. Oh,
who was like, she tried, I just couldn't. It's gross. He don't have daughters, so
But I
okay.
mean,
he wouldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
these
She
days,
was telling me about that earlier. Are they hustling us
here she
to
comes.
buy all these self care products, or are
Oh,
they healing
they
us with these self
hustling.
care? Are they
Cause you
hustling?
know,
no,
the same
it's always
conditioner
been
that I
a
used to buy
hustle.
for $3 is $17 right now.
I know
It's
that's right.
always been a hustle. It's always been a hustle ever since I want to say probably mid 50s and 60s, when they made it mandatory for women to look a certain way. You got to wear your makeup and your hair in the magazines. So they played on women's
Insecurity.
self-confidence,
But I feel like it's
the
more
confidence.
expensive to stay natural than it is to be like with colored hair. Or because if I go to buy a shampoo or conditioner that's for colored hair and they're talking about trying to keep it so that there's less breakage, it's $3 or $4. But if I go to buy something for my naturally curly hair, I'm spending $15.99 or more. Some of these, there's this one particular soft curls. It's $27.99 for this little bitty bottle. And it works so freaking good. But you can only use it once or
Yeah.
twice, especially with all this hair. And I mentioned I was gonna cut my hair this morning. He just left.
The cosmetic industry is a billion-dollar industry, and they use it to
Mhm.
play off of our insecurities. So it
Sure.
is a hustle, and it's been
The
a
I
hustle
agree.
upkeep.
since,
It's
you know,
we were talking about the
um
amount of the upkeep. So that money that you pay that is really they're like, "Well, treat yourself. Get your nails done. Get your feet done. Go get a facial. Go get your makeup done. Go get your eyebrows done." All those are upkeep
That's a
items
thousand
that
dollar day right
men
there.
and society, right?
It is.
That actually is $1,000 day. You
Hmm.
know,
It is.
if you're getting your hair done, go get your facial.
That's $400,
Go
$500.
get your feet and your hairs done.
That's
Let's say
another
they're like,
three
"Oh,
hundred
well,
dollars.
there's this wrap that will melt off the fat,"
Add on
right?
ninety
And
nine
they
dollars.
call it a self-care day,
Don't forget a
and that's
tip. You got a
self-care,
tip the
right?
esthetician.
10% if
That's
they 20
use
if they did good.
but that's for
I know
you,
for me to get my
right?
hair and nails done at a minimum $500, at a minimum. For me to get my hair did and my nails done, minimum
My hair
$500.
by itself is almost $500. Trying to get it
It's a
straightened.
hustle.
And forget if I want to
We're
cut
definitely getting
too.
hustled.
When I went to go get my hair straightened, cut, and dyed, they charged me $600. I almost had a heart
I would
attack.
have died
Look,
that
when
day.
I first got there, I said, "How much is the blowout?" They said $60. Then as she started doing my hair, she said, "Wait, your hair is really curly. I didn't expect this. It's gonna be this instead." And then she was like, "Oh, it's longer than I expected. It's
See,
gonna be
I don't
this
like that.
instead." And every time she
I don't
does
like
more, a
that.
little bit more on my hair, she's adding more money. And I'm like, hold on,
You
cut
should have
off
just
that
jumped out
piece
of
you
the
playing
chair, girl.
with.
You should have you should have just
So
jumped out that chair.
I
Like,
would
you
have
know
jumped
what?
out
Never
that
mind.
chair, have my
But
hair
Unhand
it's
me.
too
done.
late because
Unhand me,
you can't
lady.
walk
I'm
out
gonna get out of
halfway
here
done.
before I go bankrupt.
And I remember when we were growing up, it was
My
$25.
hair done, the other half not done.
So
And you
when
still
I
gonna
first
owe
start
her
I
two
go to
hundred,
the
$300.
same beautician,
Oh,
and I think when I first started going to her, it was $40, I think, and now it's 250. And so, like, it's between 210 and 250 depending on whether I want a deep condition or not. And you know, I need a deep condition
Listen,
because I don't get it done often.
I think we need to have a whole nother episode about all the scales taking place in these places.
You remember when you
What
could
you
And
get
really
I
your
gonna
nails
charge
done
for
for less than
hair
understand.
for?
$20?
Yeah, no,
I
that's
remember that. That's because
a
I'm
nail
old.
day.
I do
Yeah,
remember.
a nail day is at
Those were the
least
days.
$100 if you find a sale. Like if you find a deal, it's about $100.
And that's probably not even at the
Ooh,
good nail
child.
So
salon,
like,
like Aladdin or Ava's. If I go to Ava's, I'm gonna spend at least $300 trying to get my nails and toes done. Cause that Miss Michelle, baby, she does I like my nails where it's a different design. Cause if I'm gonna go get them done, I want a whole cartoon story. She
Why
hooks
not?
it up.
and
She's an
so do
artist.
you guys think it's for us, it's healing, or it's really a hustle to make it seem like forcing us to be upkept? It's really for you. It's a spa day. Yeah, you know, it's so relaxing, and like, is a hustle for that, for it to be framed as if it's for our peace rather than for the upkeep that society tells us that we need.
I think it's both.
It does depend. I
Hmm.
think Autumn's right. I think it does depend. Because I'll tell you right now, I go to a fancy schmancy spa and I already know it's gonna be, it's gonna be up there. It's gonna be like 500 plus dollars every time I go. But I know that I'm doing it for a special. I don't even know why you're breathing like that, Jessica, because you're the one that turned me on to the spa, and now I have to keep going. She got me a gift 1 year for my birthday, and now I go back every time. So,
Oh
matter
no.
of
Yeah,
fact,
well.
this is on you, Jessica.
It's like
I'm gonna
going to
start
get a
sending you the
sugaring
invoice.
and never going back again. You can't be all fresh down there and have felt the light and then go back to being hairy. Like, come on. Come on. It's you just done.
It is. There are certain aspects that are addictive, right? But if I am planning for it and I know I'm doing it for myself because I really enjoy it, then that could be healing. I have my spa day. I'm gonna go see my wax girl. I'm gonna do this. I it's for me, right? But if it comes to a point where you have to do it because you're worried you're going to be less desirable, or that you're not going to be as seen as important, or where you feel the pressure to do it, that's when it becomes a hustle. Because I can go a couple of weeks without getting certain services done, and I don't suddenly have like a different view of myself. Now I'm depressed because my hair's not done or my nails aren't done. I just know, okay, they're just not done for this week or two. But if it comes to a point where you feel like you have to do it in order to feel whole, to feel like a normal person, that's when it seems more like it's a hustle, right? As opposed to where I choose to do it because I like it. I want to do it this time, and it's not a requisite in order for me to feel like I'm deserving of love
And I
or
do think we're
respect.
seen differently based upon getting them done or not getting them done.
I
I
think
do
It's
it,
true.
think
it's
that
in
that
the
is
eyes
a
of the
thing.
beholder. So a few weeks ago, somebody
Mhm.
actually told me, and this is on one of my posts, she said, you must be struggling financially because you never get your nails done. And I just put laugh out loud. I don't have the time to get my nails done, honey. I just don't. I wish I did. Before I got pregnant, I did used to get my nails done a lot, and I did pride myself on having my nails done and my eyebrows. Somebody said something about my eyebrows, but it's cool. I know they thick. Again, I love being hairy. It's fine. I'll go get them done when I feel like it.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
I
it's
think
And
not a
that's
big
the
then
deal.
you're
thing.
saying the same thing that I was though. It's that we're looked at differently if we don't continuously get our hair and nails done, our hair done, our nails done, our eyebrows done. I don't get my eyebrows done. I get my eyebrows done how many times a year? Maybe 3. My
Mm-mm.
birthday, sometimes around Christmas, and sometimes if I'm in a relationship, I'll get him done for his birthday. That's basically it. Like, and I'm hairy. These things are hairy little monsters above my eyes. Like, it is like I don't mind because I'm like, okay, it's not like the rest of my body is less hairy from me getting my eyebrows done. Also,
Exactly.
like I don't get my nails done because I type all day and I don't like getting tips on my nails, right? I don't like acrylics. So I found that if I'm typing and I get my natural nails done, they just chip. Even when I get the nails, they chip. Cool. I don't get my nails done very often because it just doesn't work for me. And people say all the time, "Oh, you don't get your nails done? That's kind of weird." Oh, I see your eyebrows.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
here's a huge
I can
one.
tell you about a
Legs.
place to get them done.
Legs,
I
Jessica.
What?
didn't ask.
Legs are a huge one.
Oh yeah,
So
legs are big.
I'm not
Yeah.
big on shaving, man. I'm not. I shave sometimes when I'm going to pool, sometimes not. You might catch me hairy. I really don't care. Like seriously, if my man's not bothered by it, I could care less if somebody else is like, "Oh my God, you wearing shorts? Did you know you have hair?" Of course I knew I look like a little werewolf. It's okay. Guess what? Were you gonna shave them for me? I have spinal issues. I shave it when I feel like it. If I'm having a good spinal day and I'm going to the swimming pool, I might feel like I want to feel like so I might shave. But if I'm having a bad spinal day and my baby wants to swim, guess what? I'm not gonna be like, nah, baby. I'm sorry, mommy didn't shave. We can't go swimming. You
Yeah.
got life.
You still
So,
gotta live your life,
so basically, it's based
regardless
on
what people think.
your lifestyle and what you prefer. I like to get pampered. Um, but there were times I used to work so much where I didn't have the time to do it. So, now that I have a lot of time to myself, I'm starting to go back to the things I enjoy doing. Like I will continue to go back to the spas, get my hair done, my nails done. I love spas, the full body spas, the scrubs, and you leave the place rejuvenated, and yeah, I love those things. So, and I do it because of me, because like I said, I like to be pampered and I like to take care of myself, and I don't do it for the likes of
I've actually never done a
somebody.
full spa day.
Really?
We need to fix that.
I've
We need to
never
fix
done
that.
full spa.
Whole face.
I've had a facial. I've had a massage. I've obviously got my hair done separately. I've gotten my nails done separately. But like I've never done like a whole like full spa day.
Sounds like a
Head to
sister day is
toe.
It's never
needed.
been a thing.
Mhm.
Indeed.
Yes, yesterday. I like that. That's a good idea,
Yes.
Sisterhood.
Kara. Yeah, yeah, better
We couldn't
and
even
do
get
it
our
often.
eyebrows done that day if you want.
You know what? And you don't
Sure.
have to go. You don't have to go to salons.
Mm.
There are services that come to your house. I remember when I had my bachelorette party and we lived out in the boonies. I'm like, how I'm going to enjoy myself and I don't feel like traveling. I hired like a massage therapy people to come and they had two tables and they did deep tissue massages and one downstairs. No, it was three tables. It was three tables, but they came to the house, they set up, and they did everything for you. And I think they do that also for nail services. So if you
Yeah.
don't have the time to do these things that you want to do for yourself, have somebody come to your house, set up, and they do it for you. But we still, at our age, we need to continue to take care of ourselves, our whole well being, our spiritual, our physical, everything. Because as we age, things start to don't look the same. And then when things don't start to look the same, we don't feel the same. And that has an impact on our spirits.
I agree, and I think adjacent to that thought process is don't put your beauty standards or your relaxation standards or the standards of taking care of yourself on others. Because if Autumn loves to get her nails done all the time and she's like, "This is taking care of myself," I might have a different standard for myself of what taking care of myself looks like. I might be like, "All right, I'm going to the gym 6 days a week." That's me taking care of myself. I'm changing my diet, and that's me taking care of myself. And just because that doesn't fit like somebody else's standards, that doesn't mean you get to put them down for that standard. That doesn't mean
My
you
self-care
get
Absolutely.
includes
to
chocolate
try to
and
push
peanut
that on
butter.
somebody else. Maybe it's a day that you're like, 1 day a week, I don't care what it is. Markeisha said it earlier. She was like, I before we started the cast, she was like, 1 day a week, you shouldn't have to leave the house. You shouldn't have to put on a bra. 1 day a week,
I know
you
that's
should
right.
be able to just not do anything. That might be what's included in her self-care routine, and somebody else might be like, "Why would you be like that? Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you go out and have fun and do XYZ?" And because they're extrovert, they don't see that as self-care. So understand that just because it's self-care for you doesn't mean it's self-care for someone else. Somebody's
Yeah.
upkeep of their self, as long as as it's healthy, they're not hurting somebody else, they're not infringing upon somebody else's rights, live and let live.
So let them people live, and you don't know what people's situation is. Some people are stuck in the house because of a disability. You don't know what's going on with them. So upkeep for you might look different on somebody else. Your access isn't everybody else's access. Your expectations aren't everybody else's expectations. So yes, live and let live. And try your best not to judge other people based on just how they look. You're
Also,
supposed to judge them by the content of their character
also something that I learned
and not their
recently
age either.
is so a lot of people are we're talking about self-care right now, but this is really important. If you don't feel like taking a shower every day, this is something that's part of every day what you should be doing. Maybe take a look at maybe you're not as happy as you thought you were. Get back to your happiness so you can take that daily shower. And I know maybe you live somewhere where daily showers aren't affordable. That's a different situation. But here in America, we do tend to take daily showers. A lot of people grow up taking daily showers. Some
There's
people
a
learn
whole
not to
nother
take showers
conversation
with
around that. There's a conversation around
soap,
that
but
which we can have in a separate podcast. So
that's part of
there are
self-care was my
thoughts
point.
and feelings. Yeah, there are thoughts and feelings around showering daily and what cleanliness looks like and
Yeah.
what that impact is on your life, and
I found out some
that's sort
people
of a
don't
little
use
different.
washcloths, so that's definitely different.
All right. So, um, in this episode, we talked about aging gracefully versus fighting the tide. We talked about beauty standards and whether it is a hustle or it's like truly self care and it's for us. And we kind of got to a middle road where we figure it is kind of a hustle, but it is truly self care for some of us. Are we addicted to fixing ourselves? Some of us, some, but sometimes, we have to look in ourselves and see that we're doing it for the right reasons. Are there double standards between men and women? We absolutely think so. Um, but we dived a little bit into the reasons and the history surrounding why
Right.
those double standards came about and how we can sort of live our lives differently, and align with the people that care about us rather than trying to go through the societal standards that have been passed down through the generations. In the comments down below, tell us, do you think you're aging gracefully, and do you think that as you get older, you'll simply, go with the tides, or are you gonna fight that thing? Are you gonna go ahead and, you know, get some things done, and maybe some Botox, maybe some surgeries? And also tell us, what do you think about beauty standards for men and women and how they're different and how that impacts you? Thanks for joining us again on another episode of Different Walk Serious Talks. Have a great day.